Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Hope you guys are having a great evening so far. I know for some of you, maybe it's the morning, maybe it's very late at night, depending on where you're at. But yes, as you can tell, I'm in a little bit of a different setup here. If you tuned in yesterday to either of the streams, you would have seen the same setup as well. And I'm house sitting for my sister. So while I'm house sitting here, I just figured I would have some fun and do some late night streams like pretty much every night. So we're just gonna have some fun with it and kind of pick a different theme every night. You know, last night we talked about the Shelby Oaks trailer, talked a little bit about Together, but also you guys were kind of just, you know, throwing your thoughts and your questions out there as well. So we kind of talked a little bit about everything. And we're gonna keep on doing that tonight. We're gonna pretty much, I'm an open book for you guys for a Q&A. Now I know the thumbnail says horror Q&A, so you know, really we can talk about whatever, but especially if you have any horror related questions that you want to pick my brain on, tonight's the night to do it, guys. So thank you so much to everybody that's tuning in and hanging out with us. Make sure you hit that like button on the stream. It really helps the visibility get out there. So if maybe somebody out there is a big horror fan and they're logging onto YouTube right now and they're like, I wonder what the heck's going on. Is anyone live? And then if you guys are clicking that like button and getting the stream some visibility, then they'll be like, oh, who's this Davey Deathray guy? So it really does help when you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that button as well. Just give me a chance, you know, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because guys, the channel has been doing really well lately. I know I keep on talking about it and all that stuff, but really it's because of you guys. So right now we are just 22 subscribers away from hitting that 1600 mark, and the way we're going to get there the quickest is if you guys share the channel with someone who you think would enjoy what we do here. And really quick here before I get going, I do want to drop a link in the chat here. I'm going to pin it in the chat. So guys, I'm an affiliate on a new documentary from Creator VC, the folks who put together In Search of Darkness, that entire series. And they're doing a series called, or a documentary called Slasher Trash, about trashy, low budget slasher movies from the late 70s and the 80s. So if you use this affiliate link that I'm going to drop into the chat and order a copy either digitally or physically, you'll get your name in the credits. You're supporting, you know, some awesome filmmakers out there. And it also supports the channel. So if you're going to get the documentary anyways, think about using my affiliate link and helping the channel out. So let me put it in here really quick. Order Slasher Trash here. Well, there we go. I think I got it. Okay, there we go. Excellent. So I'm going to pin that in the chat so you guys can use that link. I could show the whole page and everything, but I've been doing that quite a bit lately, so I'll give you guys a little bit of a break on that. But I'll probably show it off tomorrow, I would imagine. Holy cow, we have 18 people watching, 19 people now. You guys are amazing. I'm going to say what's up to everyone in the chat. Guys, if you do have a question that you want me to answer, I'll go through the chat here and say what's up to everybody. But if you have a question that you want me to answer, just either put Davey in all caps or put question in all caps at the very front of it all. And I'll just be able to see that a little bit easier. So I'm going to say what's up to you guys, and we'll really get going. We got King Matthew III jumping on in saying, what's up, Davey? How are you tonight? My theory for Scream 7 is that it opens with a flashback to Maureen's death from Sydney's point of view. And then maybe Gail dies in the final act. Yeah, you know, when we had M from Horror on just yesterday for Late Night with the Davey Before Dark, she was mentioning how she thinks, you know, bringing Stu back and, of course, having Billy there, that we may get a flashback to Maureen's death. So I think there's something there. You know, I have no inside information, so I don't know what they're thinking, but I think that's a pretty solid theory there, King Matthew. And maybe Gail dies. Yeah, it's so crazy. I thought in Scream 6, I'm like, how did she survive that? Like, she got straight up stabbed in the chest. I don't know many people that survived that kind of attack. So I would have been you know, okay with Gale passing away in Scream 6. I don't, you know, of course you don't want to see these characters that you love go, but you figure it's going to kind of have to happen, right? I mean, even in Scream 5, they sort of call out the fact that the other legacy characters don't get killed in the other movies. And then in Scream 6, I don't think they kill any of the legacy characters. And even Chad gets turned into a pincushion and still makes it out. So, yeah. But welcome on in, King Matthew. Great to see you, man. We got Chester Franklin Jr. What's happening, Chester? Always a pleasure to see ya. We got Gory Tiger. What's happening, Gory? Paula Fitzhenry, one of our great channel members, says, hi, loved Fantastic Four, saw it earlier. Movie started at 6:30, ended at 9 p.m. Yeah, I really enjoyed Fantastic Four. I've seen it twice. I watched it in the Dolby Theater at the AMC, and then I watched it in 3D IMAX. Yeah, I enjoyed it both times. Chester says, I have some questions for you, but after that, I get some sleep. I can't really do late night streams. Yeah, no worries. No worries, Chester. I think I got back to you right there. Yeah, so hopefully if you're not hanging out right now, Chester, hopefully you dropped a couple questions and then you'll be able to check out the stream tomorrow. But if you're still hanging out with us, even cooler. And it looks like, yeah, Chester does have a question. What was the first movie of the big three you saw in the theater, and was I scared of that movie? Oh, Chester, the first movie of the big three that I saw in the theater would have been Halloween H2O, 1998. Yeah, I was 16 years old. I had turned 16 just a couple months before. I wasn't scared. I was very, very excited to see Jamie Lee Curtis in another Halloween movie, and I absolutely loved it. A whole bunch of my friends, I remember the day because it was rainy. I think school had either just started or it was the end of summer. When did that movie come out? Was it like August that it came out or something like that? I don't know. I remember my friends and I driving around and just, you know, being silly. It was kind of a rainy day, which happens a lot in Southeast Alaska. And yeah, I think we had one of our parents had to like get us all into the movie because we were not 17. All right. Can't get enough of that water. And was there a movie you felt kind of boring to watch over and over, or a horror series? Oh, like a movie that's too boring to keep on diving into? Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel that way. Like when it comes to stuff like, I don't know if it's boring. I'm trying to think of like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. I couldn't really hang with that one very much. I think when I was a kid, I loved Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. I love the way that Jason looks in that movie, but as an adult, I find it relatively boring. However, I just watched that cut where they put all the gore back in, and that cut is a lot more entertaining for sure. And a horror series that I think, you know what? I really like the first Hellraiser movie, and I think the second one is pretty fun for what it is, but I find that series to be a little like, you know, not quite my thing, I guess I would say. I was talking about It last night. I don't know what it is about that world and about Stephen King in general, but a lot of times his ideas don't really hit me, you know, in a way that sticks. Paula Fitzhenry says, what is your favorite Marvel movie and DC movie? Ooh, Paula, that's a really good one. You know, when because Marvel used to be split up, right? So Fox had the X-Men, Sony had Spider-Man. I really like X2, Paula. That second X-Men movie is one of my favorite comic book movies. I also really love Days of Future Past, the X-Men film. And Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, one of my favorite comic book movies still. I love the way that Doc Ock is portrayed by Alfred Molina. I love the tragic villain and a villain that gets a redemption arc. I really enjoy that in a film. So, and then X-Men kind of gives you all of that too, because Magneto's always sort of, you know, I don't know if he's really playing both sides, but he's got his own set of morals and he adheres to those. Sometimes they fall or they align with the X-Men, sometimes they don't. So he is a villain sometimes, but I like those deeper villain kind of characters. And as far as like the Disney Marvel stuff goes, I really love the Winter Soldier quite a bit. That movie is really damn good. And when it comes to DC movies, Paula, I really enjoy Man of Steel. I really, really dig Batman v Superman, specifically the Ultimate Edition. Zack Snyder's Justice League is great. I really like the new Batman movie too. It's so tough for me to pick. I would say the one that I'm like the most in love with is probably the original Michael Keaton Batman from 1989, directed by Tim Burton. That, you know, I wrote a letter to Jack Nicholson because I loved his performance so much, and that was a movie that I watched over and over and over on VHS as a kid. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie's? Well, if you watch the commercial, it's just 3, because you just take 3 and then you bite into it. How many clicks? I don't know. You're going to just have to keep on clicking and getting people to jump in and hit that like button. Let the madness begin, says Prince. Dear Death Ray crew, all aboard. Much love to Sharon and the Osborne family. Stay strong, guys. Mr. Ozzy has been laid to rest officially. Yeah, that was, I saw some of the images and video from that. That was, looked pretty tough. What's happening, Billy Judd? So great to see ya. Always a pleasure having you join us here. Look at that, 1 p.m. for Prince. All right. Holy cow, we got Ashton in the house. What's happening, Ashton? Luck. Thank you so much for joining us, bud. Really appreciate it. We got Brendan Sanford in the house as well. What's happening, Brendan? So good to see you. Holy cow, we got Dane in the house as well. Mr. Sergeant Shitty Pickle. Here's Shitty. Gory Tiger 12-11. All right, yeah. So we are cooking. 6-11. There you go. Across the pond. What's happening? We got Hollywood Lido back in the house. Our surfing Michael Myers, Hollywood Lido. Hope you're doing well, bud. Holy cow, 24 people in here just like that. Guys, make sure you hit the like button if you're just joining us. And let's see how rowdy we can make this stream, okay? Making a second attempt to watch Happy Gilmore 2 so far. I don't like it. Man, the divide on Happy Gilmore 2 is massive. I haven't checked it out yet, Dane. Maybe I'll give it a try after this stream. I think my sister has Netflix all hooked up and everything. Yeah, I know some people that are like, they really enjoyed it and they were laughing their asses off, and then other people that were like, this is so shitty. Oh yeah, sorry guys. I know, the dead air of taking a sip. DJ Plays Favorites is in the house. Says, what are your thoughts on the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer? The sequels trailer. I think, you know, I showed it off. I did a new stream not even a week ago, maybe just a handful of days ago, and we ended up watching that one. And I think they're sort of up in the ante a little bit. It looks to be a little more pushing the kind of scary stuff, more so than the first one. So it seems like it's kind of growing up with the kids, and I think it looks good for what it is. I didn't play those games or anything like that. I did go and see the original, or the first film. That might have been the very first press screening I went to with Cecil, and I had a blast. I researched about the video game series before jumping into the movie, and I just I tried to put myself in the, like, tried to look at it through like a child's eyes, through the eyes of a child. And I was like, man, this movie is so much fun. Like, if I were a little kid, if I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, that would be like the movie that you rent when you have a sleepover with your buddies, or like a birthday party, something like that. So yeah, I think the new one looks pretty good. Holy cow, Brendan Sanford became a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much, Brendan, for joining us. And yeah, guys, if you are a channel member, I believe for every month of membership, once you like complete that month or get most of the way through it, you can do like a little member chat. And what's really cool is it pops up green just like this does, and it tells us how long you've been a member. So, you can save that for like if you really want to ask a question or say something a little more special, or just, really say whatever you want. But it gives us an opportunity to reflect on your channel membership and celebrate how long you've been a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Brendan. Really appreciate it, man. King Matthew III says, do you think Gail will betray Sydney in Scream 7? I kind of don't think she'll be a bad guy, but if Scream 7 goes the route, the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, did, it would be crazy. I don't think they're gonna do that. I guess they could. I just don't know if it would make sense at this point. You know, Gail's been a good character. I mean, yeah, she's got her flaws, obviously. She has like one of the more like meaningful and impressive kind of arcs, I think. I think it would really cheapen her character and kind of take all of that away if they made her the killer at this point in the series. I think with I Know What You Did Last Summer, I think they just wanted to do something that they knew would be shocking. And the theme in I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of has like this, it's almost like they're trying to do something meta, because the character that you're talking about there, I'm going to try to keep it as spoiler free as possible, but the character you're talking about there, King Matthew, says something like they wanted to like erase us or forget us or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's kind of funny, because like in a way, like a requel or a legacy sequel, in a way it's sort of, yes, it honors the older characters, but it also is kind of paving over their story to make way for the new story, you know. But yeah, I don't see, I feel like Sydney and Gail are so tight right now. I would be very surprised and shocked if that's the way it goes, King Matthew. But if they write it the correct way, I don't know, maybe it could work. I don't want to see that, but hey, anything's possible at this point. Let's see here. Yeah, Lito and I are kind of on the same page. I would be shocked if that's what they did. Ashton says, are you looking forward to the long walk? I've been seeing people in the community talk about it. Yeah, I talked about it a little bit, Ashton, last night, but yeah, I watched the trailer and it didn't really do anything for me. You know, I was like, oh, another one of these movies that's like got sort of that dystopian kind of Hunger Games sort of thing, Squid Game. Seems like something out of like an episode of Black Mirror, not as sci-fi driven, but just this whole like, you know, win big money if you can be the last one to survive this walk kind of thing. Those sorts of stories, I think it would make I think, you know, Stephen King's short story is probably very like intriguing and interesting. When I saw the trailer, it didn't really grip me too much. You basically know it's going to come down to like the two main characters, either having one of them having to betray the other, one of them sacrificing for the other, or maybe they gang up and they kill Mark Hamill, which would be hilarious. What's happening, Pat? One of our great channel members, Pat, that Halloween movie collector, Mr. Pat Ring. How you doing, Pat? How is vacation going? I hope you guys are really soaking up the fun times down there, bud. Prince says, Davey, how much buckaroos will The Last Rites earn in the box office? You know, I don't even know how much those Conjuring movies usually make, Prince. I'm just like, what is, you know, it's funny. It's like, I know what a good amount of money is for those big budget movies, you know, those every time they put out a comic book movie, they want it to make $1 billion, you know. So you figure it's probably like Superman and Fantastic Four probably going to be between like 750 million to $1 billion, somewhere in there. I don't know, how much money did The Last Rites cost to make? I'm curious. I'm really bad when it, like, I look up box office stuff. I am not a good predictor, and for whatever reason, Prince, that I retain a lot of information, as I'm sure you guys can tell, when I blah 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 about all sorts of movies and everything, but I don't seem to really retain the information on the box office very well. So wish I had a better answer for you, Prince. Sorry. Brendan says, Davey, what did you think of the new Jason Voorhees trailer promotion, Angry Apple Orchard? I think it's pretty cool. So for how skeptical I was about everything, with it being, you know, kind of like a commercial of sorts, you know, I'm sure there's going to be that product placement. I don't think the movie's going to end with like the Angry Orchard logo on the screen or anything goofy like that. I thought the trailer, for what it was, looked pretty good. It does look really basic. It doesn't look like they're trying anything new. It looks like a 13-minute condensed version of a Friday the 13th movie, an early Friday the 13th movie. So to me, it kind of looks like a greatest hits. I'm guessing we're going to get some vibes. I'm thinking it's going to be more like Friday the 13th 3 and like final chapter kind of feel is sort of what I'm picking up from that. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was encouraging, especially given like the way that the AI version, like the digital version of Jason, you know, that they put out there. I didn't really like the way the mask looked. I think the mask looks better in the teaser trailer, especially better in the teaser trailer than it looked when they showed it off at Comic-Con. I'm sure you saw those pictures from Comic-Con. But I don't like the eye holes in the mask. They're really off-putting. They're like rectangular, like sunglasses, like Wesker's sunglasses from Resident Evil or something. They've got that kind of look. I think Jason's eye holes, it's so nuanced, but the hockey mask's eye holes should be circles. I think that's what looks best. I think that's the look in every movie. And I understand that they want to come up with their own, they want to brand it in their own way. I just think when you start messing with the eyes and when you change some of those features on a mask, you can sort of lose the scare factor, and there's just a thin margin of error when you're playing with the mask. You know, I mean, look at the Halloween series. I'd imagine, hopefully you're a fan of those. I mean, hopefully we all are fans of those, or at least, you know, some of them. I think in a lot of the sequels, they just don't really get the mask right. You know, Halloween 4, it's a pretty good, like, it's almost like a remake of the original film, just with a couple things tweaked. I just don't like the mask. Halloween 5, I don't like the mask. Resurrection, the mask is like, it's serviceable, but it's not great. It's a little too pronounced and a little too, what am I trying to think? What is the word? A little too defined. I like when the mask is sort of like the original mask. Of course, you know, in part 2, it looks a little different, but it's still that original mask. I really like that. I really like the Curse of Michael Myers mask, and then I like the David Gordon Green, but it's like all the other ones, like H2O's a mess. So I think when it comes to the mask here, we've only seen a couple shots of Jason in the teaser, Brendan, and one of them is like really dark, you know, that where he's looking at the girl and like holding her up by her neck, and that looked pretty good. It also looks a little yellow, kind of like the Takes Manhattan mask a little bit. And then we get that shot at the end where he's like about to drive the axe either into that guy's head or maybe he misses and gets the door. So it'll be interesting if we see Jason in a little bit better lighting, what we're going to think about that. But I'm trying to be nice and optimistic and hopeful that it will be a good movie. All right, let's see what we got. If Gale dies, it should be a sacrifice to save Sydney to make up for all the books and fame, says Avery. Yeah, and I think that Gale and Sydney are on like really good terms, and there's none of that sort of animosity. But I am totally down with her. You know, if that's how she's gonna go, to do it in a heroic fashion would be great. And welcome on in, Avery. Great to see you. Davey Do, would you love another Rob Zombie flick? Like any Rob Zombie movie? Yeah, I mean, I think he, you know, I would be very interested to like have him work with another person writing. Like maybe it's his idea, but you know, somebody helps him just kind of get away from some of the trashy side of the dialogue. That would be my biggest complaint with Rob Zombie. I would never say that to his face though, because he's just so dirty and scary looking. No, because I think he is like his visuals are very striking. I think Rob Zombie makes movies that look very good. So I would, yeah, bring it on. How crazy would it be? Guys, let me know in the chat. I want to know a couple things. So if Rob Zombie came back and made another movie, would you want him to do another installment in his Halloween series where Malik really does give him free reign now that the Weinsteins aren't involved, and he really gets to follow up his H2, which I really love that movie. Do you want to see him do something like that? Do you want to see Rob Zombie take on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, since that's kind of like his wheelhouse? And what if he got to do a comic book movie? Like what comic book? It doesn't have to be a superhero. It can be like any comic, you know, so it can be something that's not necessarily superhero, but what kind of comic book movie would you like to see Rob Zombie direct? I'm interested to know, guys. What if he came in and did an Evil Dead movie? That'd be pretty cool. Thank you so much for the reminder. DJ Plays Favorites. Yes, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. I don't know if Sydney will die. I think in her contract, Nev says like Sydney can't die and can't become Ghostface. H2O is August 5th. Okay, that's my dad's birthday. Okay, so school hadn't started yet, so it was like our last few weeks of summer break then when we went and saw that. For some reason, I didn't like X-Men Apocalypse. Yeah, I didn't like X-Men Apocalypse either. Yeah, and the Dark Phoenix movie was really bad too. I like X-Men First Class quite a bit. I really like that one. Yeah. Yeah, Spider-Man 2, so good. It is just, it's always going to be one of my favorites. Hey, all, very early here, but couldn't sleep and have a free day, so here I am. Well, welcome on in, Daz. Hope you're doing well. Batman 89 is my favorite comic book movie, period. All right, well, there you go. Gosh, I'm getting some weird, like, interference. Hopefully you guys aren't hearing it as much as I am. We got Brett Patrick in the house. Says, hey, Davey, just got out of Naked Gun. Hope things are well. They are well. I stayed up way too late playing guitar last night. Had a couple drinks and stayed up very, very late. So I originally was going to see Naked Gun tonight at 7. I was just dragging ass. I knew I was either going to fall asleep in the theater or not enjoy the movie as much as I would if I just went and watched it tomorrow. So I think I'm going to check it out at like 1:30 tomorrow. What did you think, Brett? Did you have a good time? Was the theater packed? Maybe I should go check it out at night and watch it with a packed house. Maybe I should do that. X-Men and Deadpool are joining Marvel now. Yep, they sure are. What's happening, Daily Ghost, our newest Death Squad mod. Naked Gun is the next movie my friend and I are seeing together. Hell yeah. Davey, opinion on Survival of the Dead. I thought it was terrible, but plan to finally rewatch soon. Yeah, Daz, I'm right there with you. I love George Romero's zombie movies. He's my favorite director. Day of the Dead is an absolute masterpiece. I think Dawn of the Dead is as well. And I can get down with all of his zombie movies except for Survival of the Dead. I thought it was really poor, and I don't know if I'll ever rewatch it. I own it. I own it on Blu-ray. I just don't know if I'll ever watch it. My jaw dropped when I saw the big plot point at the beginning of Happy Gilmore 2. I was not happy. Oh, I've not seen it yet, so I'll have to give it a watch there. Yeah, Adam Sandler, he's got that big fat contract with Netflix. Yeah. Happy Gilmore 2 has its moments. All in all, it's just content, which is depressing. Sandler hasn't made a good comedy in over 20 years, so had no need to watch Happy Gilmore 2. Yeah, Punch Drunk Love was good. He is a good serious actor. He's got a lot of range, for sure. Didn't see the new one, but it's spoiled for me. The I Know What You Did Last Summer, Happy Gilmore 2. Pat, it'll be diverse with people. Need to watch it again. I was a little too tired going in. Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't want to go see it. I was like, if I'm going to go see a comedy, I either I need to go with a buddy or my brother or watch it in a packed house. So maybe tomorrow night I'll try to check 8 p.m. showing or something like that. Yeah, I really hope you won't allow that as well. Glad to see Liam Neeson in love with Pamela Anderson, for real. Yeah, it seems like a good pairing, man. Seems like a good pairing. I've been watching The Waterfront on Netflix. I didn't realize it's from Kevin Williamson. Pretty cool and different for him to do. Yeah, I don't even know if I've heard of that. Gail's character has never had any genuine growth. She's always going back on her word and writing about the murders. Every movie she started single, save for 4, and writing about murders. Well, yeah, I don't know. Does she really promise she's never going to write about it again? I think, yeah, I get what you're saying, Avery, because her and Dewey ultimately don't work out because she has a desire for fame and the spotlight and everything like that. So I get what you're saying. But if you look at the way Gail is in the first movie and her relationship with Sydney, it's pretty different. I mean, even she has the bigger changes maybe in Scream 2, but by the time they get to Scream 3, it's almost like the rivalry is all gone and they're kind of like sisters at that point. Yeah, makes sense. It'll be interesting to see between that and Superman which movie makes the most money out of those two. But I think Jurassic World is probably going to beat both of them because it's probably has more appeal worldwide. They should have killed off Gale before Dewey. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, maybe. I was super bummed to see Dewey die, especially when we find out it's like a 90-pound high school girl that somehow picked up Dewey. I don't know how that happens. Yeah. Then at the end, she'd fall in love with Dewey and say she's done with that kind of journalism just to be written exactly the same in the sequel. I don't ever remember her saying she's like done doing the journalism, but I know what you mean. She does promise to be different. And I think like writing about the murders and stuff, she's not doing it in this exploitative way. Like in the first movie, she is way more like tabloid twit. Gail Weathers as what's her face calls her. Tatum, I think, calls her that. Money wise, I'm thinking weapons will make more money than together. You may be right. It seems to have, I mean, you got Josh Brolin in there and Julia Garner. So I think you've got some bigger names. And I think that will help. And I think, I don't really know how crazy weapons is going to be. And I don't really know. I think they've done such a great job with the marketing that we don't really know exactly how it's all going to shake out. But yeah, I think there's something about Together that's not going to be for everyone. The body horror stuff isn't for everyone. That's for sure. But I did really enjoy Together quite a bit. What's happening? Eli Cortez, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. How you doing, Eli? So great to see you. Don't forget to slash that like button and sub to this amazing channel and consider becoming a member of the mighty Death Squad for some awesome perks. Thank you so much, Eli. Appreciate you. And here it comes. We got the links. Eli is sharing the links. I love it, Eli. I love it. Yeah, guys, check out Pat's channel. He's one of our great channel members here. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it, Pat. I consider you a friend, bud. You and Brett and Bill and all those guys hopping in on the phone calls together. It's always fun to see you guys and jump on a video call. Let's see here. Or what if they had an ending? This is from Billy Judd. Or what if they had an ending with Sidney visiting Dewey's grave and Maureen comes in showing to have survived, just like how Peter Parker's dad did in The Amazing Spider-Man? I don't think that's going to... I can't see that happening because, Cotton Weary went to jail for killing Sidney's mother. So I would imagine it was a pretty rough... murder for Maureen, and that there's no way she would survive. That'd be way too... soap opera kind of for me. I mean, what if there was what if she's visiting Dewey's grave? What if it's kind of like a two-parter? So Scream 7 ends, but the story is going to bleed into Scream 8. So we're not going to, maybe we catch one of the ghost faces, but we know there's more out there, or maybe they never catch the ghost face. Sidney's visiting Dewey's grave. Stu is behind her and he says, "Surprise, Sidney." I don't know. That's just piggybacking off your idea there. Yeah, too shaded. Yes, there. Yeah, that's what I mean. The definition and like it is interesting. Yeah, it's a little too like. Is he wearing makeup? What's going on? Let's see here. Billy Judd's channel. Billy, I didn't even know you had a channel, Billy. Yes, you have to. It wouldn't make any sense to me to bring her back at this point. I mean, it seems like there wasn't any question of like a body. They've never said anything about like, well, her body was never found. And in fact, in Scream 3, when they have things set up for like the Maureen murder scene, because in the Stab movie, they were actually shooting the Maureen murder scene. Remember when she has the run-in with Ghostface on the set? And we do see like Maureen's body on the bed. So I know that's like technically not canon because it was on the film set, but you'd think that it would be mimicked after or modeled after what actually happened in their world. Resurrection mask looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger with Jamie Lee's eyebrows. That's pretty funny, Avery. I think you're kind of right. I totally know what you mean about the Arnold thing. Yes. Yep. I think you're onto something there. TCM would be cool for Rob Zombie. Keep Rob away from Halloween. Well, if it's just the cool thing about it though, Lito, is even if you don't like his movies, either one of them, they exist like just in their own little pocket outside of everything else. So it's one of those things where it's like, it would have been so odd to have him come in and do something that was like a follow-up to Resurrection that was like actually in that same timeline. Or if Rob Zombie tried to do what ultimately David Gordon Green and those guys ended up doing, I totally get that. But it's almost like you have all those multiple Halloween timelines, and then Rob Zombie's Halloween movies are just like, they're like pulled out and they're just sitting on an island themselves. So I think that's the great thing for the people that don't enjoy his movies, his Halloween movies particularly, is like you could still love all things Halloween and just like, oh yeah, they don't spoil anything for you, you know. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of his the remake. I do really like the sequel though. I'm a total stan for Halloween 2. RZ can go ruin another franchise. Again, guys, I think if he works with somebody that's a really good writer, if somebody else works on that script with him, maybe he comes in with the story, they do the script together, and they just tone down the hillbilly white trash kind of nature of it all. I think it could be like, look at the visuals. Like, look at what's the movie, the witch movie in the apartment building? What the fuck is that called? I haven't even seen it, but I've watched like, I know what happens in the movie. I've watched like 20 to 30 minute like deep dive reviews of that movie. Cinematography looks great from everything I've seen. What the hell was that one called? Lords of Salem? Is that what it's called? Like, I just think he does have an eye for filmmaking. I will say that. I just don't think he's the one that should be writing the scripts by himself. Not this time. Give me a fresh, original Rob Zombie flick, dude. Yeah, I mean, he's made those, and I don't like. I couldn't even get through The Devil's Rejects. I felt so dirty watching that stuff. I have a tough time with like sex and violence being mixed together. I don't know. Nothing is ever. It's weird, you know. I haven't gone through anything traumatic myself, like as far as all that stuff goes. It's just that those two things so close together. They make me feel dirty, not in a way that I enjoy, not like a fun dirty. RZ could do Spawn. There you go. I could totally see that working. Yeah. Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of other stuff. Like, I'm like, would he be good for something like Lobo, like something in the DC universe that's supposed to be like a little dirtier or grittier? Yeah. What if they did like The Mask? What if they remade The Mask but did it like the comic book? Let me know in the chat if you guys have seen or read the original Mask comic, because it is almost the exact opposite of what we got from Jim Carrey. I mean, The Mask kind of looks the same sometimes. I don't know if he ever wears that banana yellow suit. I think usually he's wearing like a leather jacket and stuff, but it is very adult and very violent. I mean, he straight up goes back and like kills his elementary school teacher in front of the students and shit like that. If they remade The Mask and they did it with Rob Zombie, that would be wild. I like Rob, but he's done with Halloween. Yeah, I figure he wouldn't want to do it, but now that the rights situation is totally different and Malik was always on his side, it would be interesting to see him return to the franchise. I mean, shit, Jamie Lee kept on returning. No more comic book movies, please. Well, you don't have to watch them, Pat. You know, some people dig them. I hear you, though. I probably wouldn't have seen Fantastic Four in the theater if I didn't have AMC A-List. And I'm glad I do have the A-List, because I actually really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Pat and I have regularly discussed being curious if RZ tackled reimagining Halloween 3. Season of the Witch. Yeah. I am so down for Season of the Witch to come back. You know, I know Dave's talked about it for a while. Season of the Witch is like when they do it, if they ever do a TV show, do like a season that's sort of like do like a, you know, one season of the show that's a retelling of Season of the Witch. I think that would be the way that I would want to do a Halloween TV series, is have each season of the show be a different, like a remake or picking up on a dead end. You know, like, what if we could see a sequel to Halloween 4? Legacy sequel to Halloween 4. 8 episodes. Bring Danielle Harris back. She's all grown up, and she's a fucking slasher. X-Men First Class. January Jones is Emma Frost. I love that she's got this don't give a fuck kind of way of performing. She's like, nothing impresses her. I do love that. And she's quite the looker. Exactly, RZ. Do original material. Just leave franchises alone. Okay, well, there you go. Does he have a comic book? Has he ever like made a comic book before? Chad and Mindy are probably the killers with their mom. Interesting. What if they bring in Sam and Tara's mom? Or are they not even going to acknowledge those characters exist, even though they're acknowledging some of the other characters exist? No, I don't think so, Billy. I think she's for sure dead because someone went to jail for her murder, you know, so I think she's for sure dead. Yeah. See here. Davey, what's your top 3 sodas? Thanks for jumping on in, Joel, one of our great channel members over at Dark Room Reviews. Top 3 sodas. I'm a big root beer fan. I don't know if I have like a favorite. I like Barks root beer quite a bit. It's got caffeine in it, so I appreciate that because usually root beer doesn't have caffeine. But I really enjoy like a Henry Weinhard's root beer is very good as well. Thomas Kemper root beer. Like if you can get something on draft, that's really, really nice too. In a frozen glass. Oh shit. Yeah. So root beer. I do like Coca-Cola, like Mexican Coke. I really enjoy that. And let's see here. What am I going to say for my third favorite? I'm going to go a lime jarritos. Lime jarritos. Fruit punch is good too. I like all those jarritos. I love them all, but I'm a lime fan. I do love things. Candy, lime now and laters are one of my favorite candies of all time. So I'm going to go with those 3. Really love cream sodas and Dr. Pepper and all that stuff too. I don't drink soda very much, guys. Usually if I drink soda, it's going to be like it's going to be in a glass bottle and it's going to be pure cane sugar. I really try to stay away from the high fructose corn syrup. Maybe once or twice a year, I'll have something like that if I'm hungover enough. 11:20 a.m. for me for Naked Gun tomorrow. Stoked. Yeah, I kind of want to go early in the day just to do it, but then I'm like, shit, I should go see it with a whole bunch of people. Probably be more fun that way, you know. Thanks for sharing that, Eli. Dad says no to TCM. He already did his version with House of a Thousand Corpses. That's true. I'd rather see Rob make a decent movie again before allowing him to return to Halloween. Yeah, and I want to see somebody like JT Molnar or Osgood Perkins do something like Texas Chainsaw. Favorite Marvel villain? That's a tough one. I mean, I love Magneto. He's kind of like both, right? Dr. Octopus has always been a favorite of mine. I never was like Thanos. I never really read the Infinity stuff when I was a kid. So I'm like aware of it and I've caught up on just like reading up on it before the movies came out. So I was never like, when it comes to like the big bads, I was never like, you know, into Thanos in that way. I'm a huge X-Men fan, going all the way back to reading like the old issues from the 60s and stuff like that. Yeah, I like the X-Men villains. So, you know, Magneto and Stryker, stuff like that. Like X2 is just so good. Stryker's such an awesome villain. Let's see here. We got Jeff from John Doe Juggalo in the chat. What's happening, Jeff? So good to see you, man. Thank you for sharing that, Eli. It's a great match, Liam and Pamela. Yep. Yeah, I saw that. Jurassic is just a week more than Superman, but more than $200 million above where Superman's at. So, yeah. God, I hate Scream 5 more and more every day. Yeah, I think I like 6 less than 5, but they're very close, and I don't love either one of those. I enjoyed 5, but the killers were whack. I agree. The killer, I called it way too early on. I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be this guy and that chick. And then killing Kyle Gallner like the way you did, like he would have been a great red herring. Just keep him in the movie for another 20 to 30 minutes. Why'd they have to get rid of him? Like you see him like twice. He has like one scene where he talks and that's it. Weird shit. Very talented actor. Should have kept him in there. Yeah, she's gorgeous. Illuminated Pro says go to Comfort Watch. I think that would be Fletch. Fletch starring Chevy Chase. I watch it 2 or 3 times a year. And it's the 40th anniversary this year. So I've watched it, I think, 2 times so far this year. Christian from Planet CHH came on the channel and we did a watch party, which was great. And then I've watched it at least one other time. Now, as far as horror goes, Illuminated Pro, comfort watches for horror, I would say like the original Dawn of the Dead is one of those. The newer Halloween movies, I could really put on any of those David Gordon Green Halloween movies as comfort watches. Final Chapter or Jason Lives from Friday the 13th. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. The list goes on. 5 cream and 6 cream. Yeah. Did you see the post-credit sequence when you saw the Fantastic Four? I did, yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was just enough of a tease, and they have a great tribute to Jack Kirby there at the very, very end of the credits on Fantastic Four. It was great. So happy for Pam Anderson in her new era. She seems so free and liberated. It's awesome to see. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking out the movie. I've seen one of the, I think the first trailer didn't have her in there at all, so I've seen one of the trailers with her in it. But I've avoided, man, every time I scroll through like, you know, Twitter or whatever, even on Instagram, like they keep on putting ads, and I scroll right past because I don't want to see any other jokes ruined. I want as many of the jokes to be fresh to me in the movie. Jeff Overing jumping on in saying, hey, Davey, what's going on? Nothing much, Jeff. I am house sitting at my sister's house. So I'm doing some late night streams pretty much every night this week. And tonight we're doing horror Q&A. But really, if you have any question for me, you can really ask me anything. But if you have a horror related question, then fire away. Yeah, body horror can be more disturbing scare wise than found footage. Yeah, I agree. When Sydney finds the body in Scream 3, I think it's based on how she found her mom and the reality of that universe. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I figure is they're basing it on. We can sort of take it at face value. Yeah, for sure. Watch it be a TikTok challenge to kill Sydney. That's an idea. I don't know if you're joking, Avery. I could see something like that happening. Kind of like the Running Man sort of thing, like the newer Running Man, where it's like for a whole month or whatever, you have to like, anyone can come after you and kill you. Yeah. Holy cow. Nick from the Lost River Drive-In is peeing right now. Peeing from excitement? Or you just happen to be peeing and you're scrolling. Great to see you, Nick. I miss you. I miss your musk. But I'd imagine we're going to do another Hit the Bricks here on Monday, if everyone's available. Yeah, Lords of Salem. That was the one I was thinking of. Yeah. Ben Grimm says Rob Zombie is like M. Night to me. I haven't really liked a movie they've done in a bit, but I love their first 3 or 4 so much that I'll give anything they make a chance. Yeah. I think he's visually very interesting with what he does. And he certainly has a style, so I appreciate that. Have you seen any of the movies from the Sharknado franchise, Davey? I love that franchise. It's so underrated. I think I've seen the first 3 or 4. I think 2 and 3 I thought were the most fun. Yeah, they're a good, they know exactly what they are. You know, you don't go into Sharknado with them trying to think that, you know, they're not putting on airs like, yeah, this is legit cinema. So I do have quite a bit of fun with those prints. Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever like revisit them, but specifically, I think Sharknado 2, probably where it peaked for me, just as far like they were really leaning into the silliness and everything. But I think they get into like time travel later on, and like Dolph Lundgren shows up, and I don't know. I think he's like Ian Ziegler. Is that the guy's name? Ian Ziegler, whatever. He's like his son come back from the future. It just gets so crazy. Thank you so much for sharing that, Eli. Yeah, and guys, that link is pinned in the chat. So if you pre-order the new Slasher Trash documentary from creator VC, they're the folks behind the In Search of Darkness documentary series. Yeah, that pre-order is ending on August 14th. And if you use the link that Eli put in here, it's the same one that's pinned in the chat there. It not only helps out the fine filmmakers over there, but it also, I get a little spiff. I get a little commission on that. So it helps out the channel for sure. RZ Halloween is a mixed bag for me. Some parts are great, some parts not so much. I've warmed up to RZH2 a lot, though, thanks to Jamie. Are you sure it wasn't me, Nick, and Lee that got you to warm up to it? No, I'm just joking. I know Jamie's a big fan, too. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Even with his first movie, there are some scenes that I enjoy. The chase with Laurie, like, I'm happy there's a chase there. Once he starts like taking the 4x4 or whatever and like slamming it through the ceiling, I just think that's kind of like, I don't know what it is about that I think is dumb. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem very interesting to me. But seeing the Strodes get killed, I actually was like, oh, that's a nice touch. That scene feels very real, visceral, fly on the wall, cinema verite, whatever you want to call it. It has this feel to it, you know, with Dee Wallace and everything, where I just feel like it really puts you right there. Kind of easily, I would say, the scariest part of that first movie to me. Yeah, I need to check that one out. I haven't seen it, but I heard really good things about it. But yeah, I watched a review where, I mean, it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Lords of Salem would have been an all-timer if the ending was tightened up. Isn't that the thing with a lot of these horror movies, you know, that you run into where you're like, God, they had me the whole way. And then the ending, if it doesn't hit with you, it could just sort of knock a letter grade off the movie, you know? Like, I really enjoyed the end of Together. I thought was like, I mean, throughout the whole movie, they kept on surprising me. And the end really worked for me. Yeah, man, if it doesn't land, like that's the thing, like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Nick. Love that movie so much, and I know you feel the same way about the director's cut, where it's like, the fuck does he have to talk for? Like, why are we doing that? Like, what are you, dude? You just made like a movie that is it's the closest thing to a masterpiece that I've seen Rob Zombie make, but he just, with his director's cut on RZH2, he just drops the ball at the very end. Yeah. I think we will get Maureen's death as the opening kill in the next film. Yeah. That would be the way to bring Stu back and have it make a lot of sense and not make my eyes roll back in my head. Let's see here. We got Gaz here. Some zombie do a TCM. Yeah, and I guess, you know, I can't remember who it was that said it, but he sort of did. House of a Thousand Corpses is, come on. It's pretty much Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a group of 4 or 5 friends go into a town. Either they break down or they're, you know, in some place that they shouldn't be, and everyone's in on this sick game. Thank you so much for sharing Nick's link there, Eli. Really appreciate you, as does Nick. Guys, Nick's content lately on the Lost River Drive-In has just been fucking banging. He has not missed. The last few weeks have been incredible. Really been enjoying it, Nick. Proud of you, bud. Proud of you. Proud for you. Yeah, there we go. Happy for you. How about that? That's even better. Happiness is probably better than pride. I really like Lords of Salem. It's him channeling Euro art horror rather than US Grindhouse. Yeah, there's certain things about him visually where he decides to put the camera and how he shoots things that they remind me of Kubrick sometimes. Especially the stuff that I've seen from Lords of Salem reminds me a lot of Kubrick. Who's the strongest or most powerful horror movie character? From Hack and Slash. What's happening, Hack and Slash? Man, strongest or most powerful horror movie character? Strongest is probably, you got to look to guys like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, because I do think there's something supernatural going on there that even in the movies that don't explain it, especially like Nick Castle's version of Michael Myers, 5'10", but just as strong as Jason Voorhees somehow, right? So I would say one of those for like strongest. I'm trying to think of, Leatherface is probably pretty strong. He's also got that, I don't want to use the word here, developmental disability strength that is got to be pretty intense when he really wants to turn it on. Powerful horror movie character. I mean, I think Freddy's pretty powerful. Just having the dream power is pretty nifty. I think Art the Clown is very powerful. Like, you could just chop off his head and his head's just going to like birth a new body, you know? Or his body's going to grow a new head. Somebody's going to give birth to his head and it's just going to attach to the body. Like, Yeah, there's just like when I think of powerful, I think of like indestructible, and I think Art is kind of one of those guys. So I would say Art maybe for powerful, and then strongest Jason or Michael. Yeah. What are some movies you love to hate? Superman Returns. I fucking hate that movie so much, and I love hating it. I'm trying to think of other movies because I know there's got to be movies that everyone just like loves so much, and I'm like, what the hell is this kind of thing? I don't hate Abigail, but I certainly was not impressed with it, and a lot of people really love that one. I don't hate it though, so that doesn't count. Superman Returns. That just always is going to pop up in my head when you talk about a movie that I hate. I really fucking hate that movie. What's happening, Antonis? So great to see you, man. So great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Give me a remake of Season of the Witch with Liam Neeson as Cochrane. Yeah. Yeah. I'm into that. Sounds fucking great. Let's do it. Sign me up. How come Sam never reached out to Billy's father? I don't know. Do we know if Billy's... I guess we do. Yeah, the last we knew he's still alive, right? I don't know. Yeah, they don't ever mention that character ever again. I think we only see him in the first movie, right? I don't think we ever see him again. Other than, I guess we see him in Scream 3 in the footage, like Roman's footage. Yeah. No, your boyfriend didn't like it. Didn't like me showing this to him at all, or whatever. Yeah. Jenny cosplayed, but yeah, I don't know why she wouldn't have reached out to him other than they couldn't secure the actor or something like that. But yeah, even if it was just her trying to call him or something, it's interesting that they never worked that back into the plot. Jenny cosplayed as Emma Frost once. That was a great day. Lowdy. You are, just rub it in, Lido. Just rub it in that you've got a total knockout as a wife that's also fun and nerdy. Yeah. Yeah, here's some salt. Rub it in that wound. Come on. Need a cold shower, man? No, he doesn't, because he can, exorcise those demons whenever he wants. Yeah, it's that kind of like sent me for a loop. I sort of like paused and just was like picturing him doing, giving his speech and everything. I'm like, oh, that would be great. Yeah, Liam Neeson would be really good. Haunting, even. And I still want to see, I don't think Halloween Season of the Witch is the right movie for it, but guys, don't forget, maybe it was like 2 years ago, whenever that Holdovers movie came out with Paul Giamatti, he was on the red carpet, and one of those or Entertainment Tonight or whatever these fucking people are, was asking him like what kind of movie he wants to be in, or what kind of movie he would like to make. And he's like, oh, I'm a huge horror fan. He's like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a beautiful film. And the guy's like, what? Like, the guy's like freaked out that he's talking about horror. And I'm like, man, Paul Giamatti, if they found the right spot for him, it doesn't have to be a horror franchise that we're familiar with, like an existing property. Just, it would be really cool to see him work into a really good horror film. And honestly, guys, like, I would take Paul Giamatti as Dr. Loomis. I think that would be really cool. I think him or... I really like that Jeffrey Wright guy, that played Felix Leiter in the, Daniel Craig Bond movies. And then he was Commissioner Gordon in The Batman. I really like that guy. I think he could be, if you want to really like try something different with Loomis, not only by making him like American, but if you want to do like a race swap kind of thing. I like look at certain actors and it's like, do they have a look about them where I think they could play that character? Paul Giamatti, think about it. Paul Giamatti as Dr. Loomis could be really cool. And, and he doesn't have to do a British accent. He could just do his American thing too. I'd like to see the OG and Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Friday the 13th Part 4 in stop motion animation. I would take any of that. Yeah. I mean, a Nightmare on Elm Street in stop motion would be freaky deaky. Like Freddy in stop motion. I mean, I guess we've kind of gotten that with the puppet thing, huh? Yeah. Was it Part 3 where he's the puppet? Yeah. Guys, have you seen... Guys, what am I doing with my voice? Guys, have you seen the... I always bring it up, and I know. The black and white pitch animatic for the Halloween film that didn't end up happening. It wasn't Halloween Returns or anything. Let me see if I can find it and post it in the chat. I think it's on Vimeo. let's see here. Vimeo, Halloween pitch animatic. There we go. Federico D'Alessandro. This thing is so fucking good, you guys. Like I'm serious. When people are like, well, how are you gonna bring Michael back? Like you just want to like do the same thing. No. This guy knows what's up. Click that link, open it up in another tab, watch it after the stream or whatever. It is 9 minutes long. It's really good, guys. When I watch this, I'm like, man. And Federico was cool enough. I did a whole video on this on the channel way back in the early days of the channel. So you can check that out. I watched the whole thing and do commentary on it and, my analysis and everything if you really want to hear the deep dive. And Federico actually reached out with a comment and was like, hey, this was I'm the guy that did this. And thank you so much for sharing it and talking about it. And I'm still holding hope that maybe someday, because he did actually pitch this. From what it sounds like, he was able to pitch this to the rights holders at the time. And this came out 8 years ago. So March 14th, 2017. I saw it before that. I think it originally came out in like 2013 or 2014. But Federico has done a whole bunch of work, on some bigger movies as an artist and like a concept artist and storyboards and stuff like that. Guys, this Halloween pitch animatic is a great way to usher in starting a brand new Michael timeline that we don't need to see the stuff when he was a kid or anything like that. This movie cuts right to the chase and it has a very intriguing and interesting opening scene. It's really good. I've probably talked it up way too much, but you guys should check it out. Yeah, I need my wife to wrap up her visit to the Midwest. Yeah. Well, there's always Aloha, Mr. Hand. You know what I mean? 3 favorite sodas. I'm so far behind. Verner's Senorial. Wow, Senorial. That's in Mexican Coke. All right. I don't think I've ever had Senorial before. You guys are so supportive of each other that we're looking out for each other's, sex lives. Like we got each other's backs. I think that's important. I wouldn't say no to iced tea, Prince. I don't usually drink iced tea. I would, at this age, I would prefer to have iced tea without sugar. I just would want to, it would be more refreshing just to have the tea. August 11th. Oh man. Favorite Marvel villain, Doc Ock by Melina. So good. Yeah. The Exorcist. There's a good comfort horror movie. That's what's up. Yeah, so comforting. Give me Mr. Negative for Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I'm sold. Do it, Feige. I don't even know if I know that character, Mr. Negative. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Although I doubt that was him in that mid-credit sequence. Not great, but I'm alive. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, hopefully you stuff. I feel like the tide is turning for you, Nick, in a very good way. And I've got all sorts of nerves because I've got a video call with the courts tomorrow. I'm guessing it's just going to be the finalization of my divorce that we filed way back in January, but can't wait to hop on that Zoom call. Can't wait. I don't have to show myself on the camera, and hopefully I don't have to look at what's her face. But yeah, big old rock in pit in my stomach over that. Let's see here. Favorite horror movie score. It's tough not to pick Halloween. Oh gosh, I mean, Dawn of the Dead's really good. Really like Day of the Dead score as well. When Evil Lurks was a big standout for me also, the original Evil Dead. I don't know, I think the songs that I find get stuck in my head are Dawn of the Dead songs from Goblin or John Carpenter, either from the original Halloween or from the David Gordon Green trilogy. Like those are always kind of stuck in my head. You know, it's always stuck in my head though. Castlevania, the original Castlevania soundtrack from the NES. I hum that shit all the time. Oh, I think that's what we're getting for the next Spidey film, Mr. Negative. All right. What's happening, Jamie Hart, our original Death Squad mod, our mama mod, and a channel member, says it's the late show. That's right. Yeah, we're going strong. We are going strong, everybody. Let's see here. Thank you for sharing that, Eli. There's Jamie's channel. I'd like to write a found footage body horror script. Practical effects and everything too, I would imagine, with the found footage. Could look really good, man. Found footage is not something that I find resonates with me all the time. But I'm always down to try a new one out, you know? Oh, thank you so much, Nick. Yeah, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, come on. If you haven't subscribed, come on. What are you doing? Only 22 away from 1,600. How about that, guys? Rob Zombie could remake Tobe Hooper's Funhouse. You know, that's a movie I still haven't seen. Let me know in the chat, guys. Is Funhouse really good? Like, or is it just sort of like schlocky fun? Let me know your thoughts on Funhouse. Is that one that I've got to check out immediatamente? Let me know. Subbing to all the links shared. You are awesome, Avery. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you. Thank you, Jeff. You rock, man. RZ, Halloween to me unquestionably has the better Laurie. I don't think you're wrong. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, man. Yeah, especially in RZH2, I think, is where like Scout is just killing it in that movie. And Laurie's just so interesting, you know? Lords of Salem is a beautifully shot film. I enjoyed it. There you go. Oh my, Davey Fallon. No. I'm much funnier than Jimmy Fallon, aren't I? In the original Halloween 2, Nurse Alves can't reach Laurie's parents. Are we to assume Michael went back to Laurie's house and killed them? Mr. Strode is credited but not shown. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Michael went back and killed him. I think he's just focusing on Laurie. Yeah. We don't speak of it. Yeah. Die! Laurie's parents are at the orgy. Most of the other parents are at. Yeah, Dr. Mixter was, you know, there banging it out before having to stitch up Laurie. I gotta say, I love your rant tweet about Michael Phelps, Davey. Yeah, he was, what is he, giving swimming lessons to the Baltimore Ravens? The hell is going on? Speaking of tweets that I made last night in the middle of my craziness, I tweeted about, I think I just commented on the We Are Still Here release announcement. I love that movie from 2015 for the 10th anniversary. They're doing a Blu-ray, and I'm a big Barbara Crampton fan. And that movie freaked the hell out of me. I love slow burn haunted house movies, and I think We Are Still Here is a really great example of one, and very, like, I think under the radar. So I was like, oh my God, this movie's so fucking good, like in all caps. And you know, once I saw B Cramps was in it, that's all I needed, blah, 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 blah. I wake up this morning and I'm like, oh, Barbara Crampton retweeted my wild praise of this movie. I'm like, that's so sweet. She's such a sweetheart. Still absolutely smoking. That Judy Aronson shared a picture. They went over to, like, a whole bunch of these horror people were over at the Dead Meat folks' house the other night. And Judy Aronson shared a picture of her and Barbara Crampton. And I was like, dude, I had to like fan myself off. I was like Leto thinking about his wife in the Emma Frost outfit. I'm just like, this is how much babe can you have in one picture with just two people? And the answer is no more babe. That's as babe as it gets. Those two are still two of the hottest. I don't know what it is. I kind of like when I was a teenager and all that stuff, there are a couple of my friends, I kind of had crushes on their moms. I don't know what it is. An older woman that just still looks great. It's really hot. Very, very attractive. Victor Crowley ripping people apart. So that's okay. So maybe Victor Crowley's one of the stronger ones too. Yeah. Mustafa rolled in his graves when Meyer spoke at the end of RZ. Yeah, it was a weird decision. Do you fall asleep to any specific movies or shows? Asks Illuminated Pro. Yeah, I've got a mix. So I really enjoy ASMR. It affects me pretty profoundly. And so there's a couple artists that really work for me. There's Sarah Lavender. I love Sarah Lavender's ASMR. Shout out, Sarah. You are a lovely lady, and she does these like role playing things where it's like, oh, she's going to give you like an eye exam or first therapy session, like the questions she asks you and everything. Very great voice. Really love what she does. Sometimes I listen to the guys over at Haddonfield Radio. Christian and Joe over there. I love their voices. They do something. So the main series of Haddonfield Radio, by the way, guys, if you don't sub over at Haddonfield Radio, I really, if you're a horror fan, you've got to check out what they do over there, because they do these deep dives into, they've been doing the big three. So they started with Halloween, then they did A Nightmare on Elm Street, and now they are wrapping up Friday the 13th. And they do one episode a month. The show is about 3 hours. It's pre-recorded. The first like hour and a half is them sort of giving a little bit of behind the scenes on the movie, but also like tying it to maybe a real story. You know, like when they did the latest Friday the 13th movie that they did, they tied it to like an actual murder where the person wore the hockey mask to look like Jason Voorhees. So they sort of give that little true crime or tie it to something real. I think with the New Blood, they told the story of when Kane accidentally caught fire when he was younger and had all that damage, unfortunately, done on his body. So that was the story they used to tie because of that big fire walk at the end of the New Blood. And then the back half of the show is them watching the movie and doing a commentary, but they've researched things. So as the movie goes on, they've got certain points that they bring up. It's not just a meandering like watch party kind of thing. So I love Haddonfield Radio. Christian, I love both of their voices, but there's something about Christian's voice that is very, I don't know. Like I'll always listen to the episode, and then once I've already heard it, I might put it on to help me fall asleep. So that's usually that kind of stuff. Yeah. Wasn't there supposed to be another Hatchet Crowley movie? I think there was some talk about that. Yeah. I pray for it every night. I like Abigail. Yeah, I didn't love it. I love to hate It Follows and Skinamarink. Yes, you do, Jamie. You do, especially Skinamarink. But you're so nice whenever Jamie Hill jumps into the chat. You don't give her any shit about it. It's just like, that's kind of wild to me that she's jumped in like several times. And I'm like, I've never seen Skinamarink. I've never seen her in anything else. I'm just like, it's kind of cool when an actor in a movie I've heard of actually jumps into the chat and hangs out, you know? Oh my God, I hated it. That movie seems to be pretty divisive, but most people I've known seem to dig it, you know? Sam never reached out to Billy's father because the writers aren't as clever as they seem to think they are. Yeah, and Radio Silence just doesn't really care, right? Like, they don't. I mean, their best movie is Ready or Not, right? And it's good. It's good. Oh yeah, I got chewing some ice here. Let's see here. Never saw Skinamarink. Probably write a clever script. There you go. Leave it up to us. You know what I mean? I like It Follows, but Skinamarink is a... Oh yeah, didn't Jamie jump in when I was on your channel, right, Pat? I think so. And you were like, moving on. I won't say anything. Movie gave me such a bad headache. Yeah, I never saw the never saw the Holdovers. As Prince says, he loved the Holdovers. Eli Cortez says, start bench cut, bring her back together, Sinners. I'm going to start Sinners, I'm going to bench together, and I'm going to cut Bring Her Back. Although I think all the movies are good. I think I'm going to jump ahead here. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, Eli. Yeah, if you haven't seen the review of Together, it's not on this channel. It's over on the Horror Show channel with Cecil and Fuego. So, yeah, spoiler free. You can click on it there. Yeah, I left it cracked open because I've got a kitty friend, and last night when I closed the door, he was like batting at it. So I'm like, well, I'll just I'll leave it cracked open. Yeah, guys, let me know if you see Michael looking in at me. Okay. Oh, speaking of our kitty friend, we got little Duncan. He just jumped up in my lap. Hi, Duncan. Duncan, say hello to everyone. How are you doing, buddy? Huh? Yeah, I kiss cats. Yeah. Yeah, I love this little guy. He is a little purr motor right now. Let's see. Is Skinamarink found footage? I don't know. I don't think it is. Yeah, guys, if you don't subscribe over to the Horror Show channel, go ahead and throw us a sub over there. Would really appreciate you. The film is winning awards all over the world, and we just qualified for an Oscar nomination. Ooh, which one are you talking about there, Lido? I must have missed that. Let's see here. Did I miss something? I must have missed something there, Lido. Sorry. Well, congrats, though, man. That's awesome. Medley Man says Eddington is amazing. I don't know. I might see that on streaming, maybe. Sugar and lemon. If I get to add my own sugar, lemon's great. Lemon's really, yeah, I'll take lemon and iced tea all day. If I get to put my own sugar, I just find that it's very sweet when it's like a big old pitcher with the sugar already mixed in, you know? Favorite horror movie score, Hellraiser by Christopher Young, followed closely by the original I Know What You Did and Scream by Debney and Beltrami, respectively. Yeah, Hellraiser. I love that movie. I am a big fan. Jenny and I love Funhouse, says Lido. Okay. I'll have to give it a check. Check it out. RZ Funhouse would be fantastic. All right. Paula's got a channel too. Don't leave her out, Eli. Jeff loves Funhouse. There you go. We got Aaron Click in the house. What's happening, Aaron? So great to see ya. Let's see here. Don't insult Davey. Like, who insulted me? Which one of these fuckers? Halloween Ends has the best Lori, as we all know. Holds chat. It's, I mean, as far as Jamie Lee Lori, I think it's one of the better ones. I think Lori's done really well in H2O. I don't think the movie's fantastic, but I think the way that they handle her in that movie is really good too. All right. Specifically bone crunching massage ASMR. Oh, I do like the videos where the guy, like, where they crack the necks all crazy. I don't think that ASMR, Davey. You know, I'm still thinking about doing an ASMR channel. I know it's not for everyone, but it could be lucrative. Those channels do really well. All right, brother. You have some good sleep and enjoy listening to the bone crunching. I wish someone would invite me to one of their YouTube deep dives on A Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, I helped produce the definitive documentary and helped write the definitive book. I need a manager. Lido, I would love to have you on the channel, man. Yeah, let's put something together. Let's do it. Why the heck not? I think I saw you on... Whose channel was it that I saw you on not too long ago? You and Deandra Lazor. Or Laser. I don't know why I want to say it Lazor. It wasn't... Was it Flet? I don't think it was Flet's Movies and Pop Culture 13. Was it Primetime Mitch? Did Primetime Mitch have you on? I think he's a big Nightmare guy. That might have been it. But yeah, man, would love to have you on. Let's do it. Let's plan something for spooky season. Either September or October. We can do it pre-recorded if that works better for you, or we can go live. Like, we could do something on like a late night with the Davey, or do something on the weekend, you know? Weekends are usually busy, so for everyone, like, I just mean busy on YouTube, and I'm such a, you know, small little fish here in a big pond. So sometimes I think that late night with the Davey does a little bit better than when I go live on the weekend. But really, let's hit me up with like a DM or something, and let's put something together. We can even kind of like put together an agenda and have you know, sort of have a table of contents or kind of like a guide for the conversation. That way it just you know, we can sort of stay on point. I did something similar with you know, not that Jamie worked on the definitive documentary for The Evil Dead, but Jamie is a huge Evil Dead fan, as am I. And so we sort of did that deep dive and talked about all of those movies. So, yeah, let's do it for Nightmare on Elm Street for sure. I come in and depart before I even interact with the host, a truly fashionable thing to do. I know I'm so far behind on the chat as well. What's happening, Andrew Stevens? So great to see ya. Yeah, it's interesting. I've seen like Evan from Rockland Graves. I know he really likes Skinamarink, but I find that Jamie's taste and my taste are really close. Like most of the time we're pretty dead on, Jamie. So It Follows looks pretty interesting to me for being like a walking sim kind of movie. Skinamarink, I really don't know what it's about, but when Evan, like whenever he puts together a video essay, I'm like, oh, there must be something to this. So maybe I need to check them both out. I don't know. Let's see here. I will never give Jamie Hill any shit for it. I respect her. Yeah, and she didn't write it either. So I know that if I were in a bad movie, I wouldn't want people to like sit there and tell me about it. I mean, if I wrote it, then I guess like you just got to take the criticism, you know. It's just regular tea, not unsweetened. It's true. That's true. The writers of Scream 5 missed a golden opportunity to tie Jack Quaid back to Casey Becker. Talk about bringing it full circle and a good reason to go after Woodsboro and Sydney. Yeah, you mean like a brother, half-brother, relative of some sort? Something like that? There you go. Ashton's right there with me. Duncan's super cute. Yes. Have you already talked about the bombs dropped on Planet CHH tonight? I did not. I actually missed that stream. I was doing a couple other things. What happened, Aaron? You got to fill me in. I saw they were talking about, it was some employee leaking information about something. Let's see here. The bombs. I did see his short about the Angry Orchard merchandise, the Jason Universe merchandise. WB employee tells all an Elm Street 4K box set. Is that what you're talking about? What were the bombs that were dropped, though? I'm curious. I am curious. Start Sinners, bench bringer back, cut together. To be honest, I just saw together. Yeah, I love Duncan. Me too. He's such a cuddler. Like, my cats didn't really like to cuddle when they slept. Duncan loves it. He's so sweet. Have a good one, man. Yeah, totally adorable. Oh, Davey Fallon, yeah. Space Hunter 83 jumping on in says, I just woke up and Dave's streaming. Yes. Yeah, I'm house sitting at my sister's, and so every night this week I'm going to be going late live with a different topic. So what should I talk about tomorrow, guys? For all of you people that are able to regularly make it, right now we have 25 or 21 people in here. I think at one point we had like 28. You guys are awesome. Make sure you hit that like button, even if you're just stopping in for a minute. Show the stream some love that way. And thank you so much, Eli, for sharing Paula's channel there. So yeah, let me know what should we talk about tomorrow? Should we pick like a specific franchise? Should we talk about music? I know sometimes you guys like talking about music. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Mitch's channel. That's what I thought. Yeah. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Hell yeah. Yeah. Let's have a chat and get something cooked up for spooky season. I mean, I guess we could do it before then. I just think with something like that, with your knowledge and, your, experience working on the definitive documentary and all of that, maybe it would be a good idea to sort of, schedule that out for, it could be even September. I consider spooky season September. So yeah, let's find a good time. It Follows is overrated, says Eli. Oh, that was a great stream on CHH. I'll have to put it on when I'm done here, or when I, lay my head down, because I might try to watch Happy Gilmore 2. We'll see. I've not seen Demons 2 yet, Eli. I know I'm terrible. I really love the first Demons movie. That's right up my alley. Evil Dead, wild style, demonic possession with no rules. Love it. Yeah. Yeah, I got to check out the sequel. All right, have a good one, Prince. Thank you so much for kicking it with us, bud. Have a great rest of your day. What's a YouTube community you are into that we'd be surprised to learn? Like, I'm into the van life community. Yeah, I don't know. What is something that you guys would be surprised? I watch a lot of, I don't talk politics on my own channel. Like, every now and then maybe a social issue comes up and I just try to dance around it and be as delicate as I can, because I'm really respectful that people have different views, and I don't think everyone needs to have the views that I have. But I think that it's whenever you start talking about that stuff, it can get really personal really quick for a lot of people. So you can end up pissing someone off, even if you're very, like, I consider myself to be pretty open-minded and non-judgmental about that stuff. But once you start kind of voicing your opinion, yeah, it can get pretty crazy pretty quick. But I do enjoy watching political commentary, really from all over the spectrum. I try to listen to a little bit of everyone. I've got there's people like Jimmy Dore that I've really loved for a long time. I've been watching his channel for over 10 years now, probably 10 or 11 years with Jimmy Dore. Yeah, you know, he's like a pretty lefty guy, but he's also like I'm tired of the bullshit. Like, I'm not going to protect people just because they're like, quote unquote, on my side. So there's a very refreshing kind of like just calling out the hypocrisy wherever you see it, and keeping and wanting to hold all people in power accountable, regardless of like whether or not they're on your team. So that's what I appreciate about somebody like Jimmy Dore. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that doesn't surprise you guys, that I watch political, like the stuff I watch on YouTube, a little bit of ASMR, a little bit of true crime. Like, I just started watching Call Me Chris. I didn't even know who the hell she was until that House on Eden movie came out, and I was like, oh, she has like 12.4 million subscribers, and I've never heard of her. Interesting. So a little bit of true crime, just barely with that stuff. Interrogation videos, I really like watching. I don't know if that's technically true crime, like straight up interrogation videos, like or those like Explore With Us kind of documentary. I guess those are true crime. They always mix in the interrogation stuff. Police body cam videos are pretty fun to watch too. I watch some sports. I'm a sports fan, so I do that. I don't know if there's anything that would surprise anyone. A lot of video game content too. Like, I'm a big retro video game kind of guy. So not necessarily watching people just streaming modern games, but a lot of like Nintendo Genesis, Super Nintendo, like deep dive retrospectives, or just people being passionate and showing their love for video games. I'm a big fan of that stuff. Yeah, he was on the Young Turks for a while. Yeah. Ooh, coin collecting, says Jamie. All right. Oh man, maybe I should check out some coin collecting videos. I bet there's some unintentional ASMR there with those. Yeah. Also into mushroom hunting, but I think many know that. Yes. Well, I've seen some of those videos on your channel pop up too. The mushroom hunting. Oh, you guys have a coin collection as well. Eli, you are quite the collector, man. Eli shared some pictures with me just of his like movie collection. I don't even think it's the whole thing. It's just like one room. Very impressive. Someone spill the details on the Nightmare 4K set, please. What I've heard so far, Lido, is it's going to be like there's a steelbook, special steelbook one. The art looks amazing on all the steelbooks. Uncut version of the original Nightmare from '84. Uncut version of Nightmare 5, Dream Child, right? Is that the one? Dream Child? Whole bunch of special features and all that deleted scene kind of stuff too. I don't know if there's anything else. Yeah. Ooh, conspiracy theory channels. That'd probably be pretty fun too. Oh, Davey, we can really talk sports when we meet up online. There we go. We could do, are you a football guy, Lido? We could start a sports channel. Cover our favorite sports. Hunting through coin rolls for rare coins and error coins. Wow. That does sound fun. Got a shower, dude, but a fan of Chopping Mall with a 199 pounder from Space Hunter 83. Thank you so much for the super chat, Space Hunter. Yeah, guys, feel free to send in super chats and support me financially. Really appreciate it, Space Hunter. That's awesome. I'm a big fan of Chopping Mall too. I've seen it like 3 times, and they've all been within the last year or so, believe it or not. Yeah, I mean, Barbara Crampton, like, I'll take all the Barbara Crampton I can get. Who else is in there? One of the guy that played the second Deathstalker, if you've ever watched those Deathstalker movies, he's in there as well. He's like always got a shit-eating grin on his face, and he's chewing his gum. Yeah, Chopping Mall is so much fun. Yeah, and some great nudity, and just a really like tight 80-minute movie or whatever. Just very easy to watch. And thank you again, Space Hunter 83, for the 199 pounds. Appreciate it. Aaron says, I'm an administrator for a Facebook missing persons group, and I share a lot of YouTube missing persons videos. It's important to me. Can't imagine a loved one just disappearing. That's really cool, Aaron. Yeah, it's God, hopefully none of us ever have to go through something like that, but I know it, you know, it's got to affect a lot of people. I mean, even like Lois Duncan, who wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer, I think her daughter ended up getting killed, and I don't think they solved it until Lois Duncan had already passed. So she didn't even get to, you know, it's not that it would make it really any better, but she didn't really get to have like an answer or ever, you know, get closure, at least in that regard. Yeah, I can't imagine that either. Just wondering what if, you know, or are they still alive or not? Yeah, good on you, man. That's awesome. I don't know, maybe this would be a surprise. I watch a lot of cat videos, and I follow a lot of like rescues and fosters on Instagram, so it's not YouTube, but similar to, you know, how this is important to Aaron. You know, I think sometimes, like, with how ugly humanity can be out there in the world, it's so nice to see the people that really try to do everything they can for these little precious creatures, and to show them the best that humanity has to offer, even if not all of them are able to make it. Kitten season is rough, and sometimes it can be hard to scroll through and see that there's a lot of loss in that community of those animals that these people are trying to rehabilitate or trying to raise. But there's something nice just knowing that these animals that they're loved and cared for, you know, regardless of the outcome. Check out Born to Be Rad for what's up with the NOES Steelbooks. He did a stream about it the other night. There you go. Yeah. Born to Be Rad, Planet CHH. Chris Stanley covered it a little bit. I'm sure if Piz didn't do something on it, he probably is going to do something on it. I suspect the holdup with the new Nightmare movie is the Craven estate. I think so, and I think there's some headway being made on that, Avery. Ben Grimm says, I'm a Chargers fan. First NFL game of the season was today. Yeah, played the what's a preseason, right, between them and the Lions. Yeah, I'm a huge Jim Harbaugh fan because I'm a Michigan guy, Ben. So the Chargers are the team that I root for in the AFC West. But I grew up a Redskins fan, so that's my team there. Do you know Jay Marvelous Black Ballon or ACFAU? No? Oh, Eli. You're asking Eli. Love the NFL, and since Jenny and I went to Indiana University, I'm also a big NCAA football fan. Yeah, Michigan. My dad got his master's there, so I'm a big Michigan fan. And yeah. College, I like NFL more than college football because I think it's a better product and a better version of the game. But college football is really fun. A little less predictable, I guess. Chopping Mall is so much fun. Oh, yeah. I saw Chopping Mall in the theater. Of course you did, Jamie. Of course you did. In the mall? Was the theater in the mall? Was it in the Chopping Mall? I think they were just diving into what CHH was diving into was the WB person that maybe they shed some light on some stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no closure is rough, man. Steelbook set is limited to 4,000. The Zavi Steelbook sets Blu-rays are the old Blu-ray releases, a handful of new commentaries. Okay. But they do, but there is that uncut version of the original and then part 5, right? Oh, it's so sad, Jamie. I'm so sorry. Man, and unfortunately, it's just like, and I know there's probably, you know, people hold out hope forever, but it just seems like in most cases when somebody goes missing, It's just so rare that they're found alive, unfortunately. It's there's some sick people out there. The new T2 4K coming out is not a new transfer. Oh. Now, what do they just, so they just upscale it? Is that what it is? What's happening, Raj? We got Raj Ram 2025. One of our great channel members says, hi, Davey. How are you, my brother? I'm good. I'll probably be going here for another 20 minutes or so, guys. So if you have any questions, horror related or whatever, feel free to drop them in the chat. And yeah, I hope you're doing well, Raj. He said they might not remake the US Steelbook set. Interesting. Washington got one of my favorite Charger RBs in Eckler. Yeah. I think we retained him. I think he's coming back too. So I really like Eckler as well. He's a good running back, man. Even at his advanced age, you know, once a running back's like 28, they're like, you're old ass. It was in fact the theater in the mall. There you go. Not YouTube, but I share a lot of cat dog rescue adoption Facebook posts right there with you on that, Davey. And yes, it can be tough to see certain outcomes. The good outcomes make it worth it. Yeah, and you know, it's just such a healthy reminder to be thankful for, you know, what you've got and to show love to all of the creatures we've got here that we're sharing this world with. Didn't they bring Chopping to the theater twice? It came out first as Killbots and did terrible. I think so. Yeah, Killbots was the original name. Yeah, Chopping Mall is a way better name, but way catchier. It's so 80s. Like I remember seeing it in the horror aisle at my local mom and pop video store as a kid. Part 5 is uncut, and then uncut original, right? I think so. It's been so long since I've seen the Phantasm films, Lido. I think I might have only seen the first 2, maybe the first 3. I think just the first 2. I do like them. I need to revisit them because it's been so long. And then I should probably just finish out the series, you know? Yeah, Liam Neeson would slay as the tall man. Yeah. You're all over the Liam Neeson fan casting tonight, Lido. Love it. Good soundtrack, but after 2 watches, I just don't watch. I don't like that first one. Oh, the Phantasm. Yeah, because in the part 2, don't they replace the original kid actor, and do they kind of retcon some stuff in part 2? I can't remember. I feel like they retcon something there. I have a dog named Izzy. We actually lost our past dog to a timber, so I understand that. To a timber. What is that, Jeff? I don't know what a timber is. Oh, tumor. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's sad. I mean, that's the thing is like, you know, they spend their whole lives with you. They love you so much. It's sad that we have to say goodbye, but that's just, you know, it's the way life is. Better name, but a tad misleading. You get more of a traditional slasher vibe from the title Chopping Mall. That's true. Yep. Yeah, Mike is a new actor in part 2. And they kind of retcon the last few seconds of the first film. That's what I thought, right? Because doesn't something come through like a mirror or something like that at the end of the first one? Raj says, Davey, last night I saw Fantastic Four at the cinema. I didn't expect it to be so good. It is one of the best movies I have ever seen. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was either. None of the trailers really like sold me on it. But I felt like the directing by Matt Shackman was really good, especially for a guy that, you know, had never made a feature film before. I mean, he has tons of experience, but I really enjoyed the directing, and the editing was great in Fantastic Four. The chemistry between the characters was really good. I was surprised. I think Johnny Storm was probably like one of the biggest surprises in the story for me, that he had so much more to do and was, while very kind of an excitable, youthful, exuberant character, he's not like, they don't play him like an idiot, which, like, nothing against the Chris Evans version, but that Johnny Storm was just like, never had a serious moment, really, it seemed. So I really like that about Johnny in this one. Still fun loving, but actually contributing to the team in a very meaningful way, ultimately. And I love the Silver Surfer too. Julia Gardner, fucking awesome. Oh, Taco. Well, rest well, buddy. We'll see you on the other side of that rainbow bridge, Taco. It's a great name for a dog. All right. What else you guys got for me, huh? We have 22 people hanging out. That's amazing. If you're watching, if you're brand new to the chat, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. If you're watching after the fact, you are amazing. Thank you so much for checking out the live stream. That is way too cool. I might just sort of wrap it up here, guys, unless you've got some questions for me or you've got a topic that you want to dive into. I'm feeling a little snacky and ready to pop on a movie and see what the hell happens. Maybe fall asleep. Who knows? But yeah, let me know if you have any other questions, guys, or we can just kind of wrap it up here. Whatever you got. Whatever you got. And guys, make sure to check out the Slasher Trash documentary. The link is pinned in the chat. If you order it from that link, if you get in on that pre-order, it really helps the channel and it helps out the amazing folks over at Creator VC who have also given us the In Search of Darkness series, which is an amazing documentary series. So yeah, if you like slashers and you like trashy slashers like Slumber Party Massacre or Alice Sweet Alice, Maniac, stuff like that, then you're going to want to check out this documentary. I think it's going to be like 4 hours long. So you're definitely getting your money's worth if you invest in a pre-order. Favorite snack. I really like right now I'm munching on beef jerky at my sister's. She was at Costco and she was like, "Do you want me to get you anything at Costco?" And I was like, Detroit pizza. They do these like really good frozen Detroit pizzas there, and beef jerky. So I really like, beef jerky, big fan. I really like sunflower seeds. Love sunflower seeds. Huge fan. And I'm trying to think of other snacks that I enjoy. I'd like meat and cheese, just sort of like meat and cheese. I can get down with that as a snack. Popcorn. Love popcorn. There you go. Have a great night, Jamie. Thank you so much for burning the midnight oil with us. You are awesome, and we'll see you next time around. Everyone shared their links, so here are mine. Let's see here. Dope. Yeah, I can share yours. It looks like Jamie's got you, Lido. We got Jay Diamond jumping in. Says, "Hi, Davey. I'd love to know your thoughts." By the way, Jay Diamond is one of our channel members. Thank you so much for being a member, Jay. Says, "Hi, Davey. I'd love to know your thoughts on Crystal Lake casting an adult version of Jason for the show." Yeah, I saw that. I'm going to check, and maybe there's another update on it. So when I saw it originally on the IMDb, it says that he's only cast for, appearing in one episode from what I could see. So let's see, Crystal Lake. But I mean, I guess the cool thing about that, Jay, is that, let's see here. Where is this guy? Zachary Branch for one episode. That's just what he's listed for so far. So maybe it could be more than one episode. I just wanted to see if there was an update. But yeah, Zachary Branch is playing adult Jason Voorhees. He looks to be in his mid-20s, maybe early 20s. I don't know if he has any info on IMDb that'll tell me how old he is. Yeah, mid to late 20s, maybe. He was in Blue Bloods for an episode. Oh, he did stunts for Mikey Day on SNL for an episode. Interesting. He was in Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Okay. Well, I think here's the cool thing about it, Jay, is that we know that they're not going to like fart around and keep little kid Jason around forever. So we can pretty much assume in this first season, I don't know if it'll happen in the first episode. Maybe it does. Maybe that's how the first episode ends. That we see Jason drown. But I think it's encouraging because I know that what they want to do with this is they want to, have a handful of seasons of this show, maybe 3 or 4 seasons, and then move into the movies. So I don't know if this would be the version of Jason that would ultimately wear the hockey mask. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm encouraged. So the only thing about Crystal Lake that, you know, when I was at Mad Monster, and I'm not sure if you've heard me talk about this before, Jay, but Mad Monster was a few weeks ago. And I spoke with somebody there who basically told me, look, Adrienne King backed out. She said it was a total shit show, that they're writing the scripts as they shoot, and she thinks they're going to fuck up the whole thing, is basically what I heard. And I heard that there's going to be something supernatural. Like, Jason's going to talk a whole bunch. He's going to be kind of annoying. And there's going to be a supernatural element that is implied from pretty much the very beginning, even before Jason has passed. Now, I don't know if any of that's true. It's just what I heard from a source that I really trust, who did speak to Adrienne about what she knew and why she decided to back out. So, you know, take all that with a grain of salt. I could be wrong. That information could be, you know, not completely correct, but that's what I remember hearing about it. Will David Harbour be Elias Voorhees if he gets put in the Crystal Lake show? I don't know if they're going to do Elias. You'd think it would be announced at this point. Adrienne King is still on the IMDb, but I don't think she's, as far as I know, she's not going to be in this. I'm not seeing anything about, you know, Elias. I don't think Elias is going to be in this. I do see Danielle Koch is cast as Claudette for 2 episodes. So, and Callum Vincent's still only listed for 1 episode. So it might be that Jason drowns in the first episode, and that by the second episode, we're seeing Pamela kind of start her reign of terror. Davey, what are the next few movies you plan on seeing in the theater? Naked Gun, Together, and Weapons for me, hopefully. Yeah, I just saw Together the other day. I loved it. That review is on the Horror Show channel. If you want to check out my review of Together, I did the review with Cecil and Fuego over there. So check that out. I'm going to go see The Naked Gun tomorrow, and I'm hoping to see Weapons this week at a press screening. I think somebody else, I think Susie from the Horror Show, she has dibs on it, but just in case she can't make it for whatever reason, I think I'm the solid backup. So I believe that would be Tuesday for Weapons. And if not, then I'll be able to see it on Thursday the 7th. Yeah. So yeah. Naked Gun, Weapons. What else is coming out? Is there something else coming out this August that I'm looking forward to? I mean, Black Phone 2 I'm looking forward to. Silent Night, Deadly Night, I know that's December, but I am really looking forward to that. And Keeper by Osgood Perkins. In the Together, Aaron, when you go see Together, there's a trailer for Keeper that is, it's not just the teaser that was released. As far as I know, this trailer for Keeper isn't out there online. And there's also a trailer for Shelby Oaks, the Chris Stuckman movie, that I can't find online either. So, yeah, if you're into watching trailers, then you're going to want to catch those at when you see Together. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jamie. Yeah, Lito's got his own channel. He's, you know, very accomplished, talented young man, and a very awesome Michael Myers cosplayer as well. And he's got a hot wife. So, like, what's not to love and hate about the man that has everything? He has everything. I have nothing. Yeah, guys, hop on over to Lito's channel. Give him some love. We're going to bring Lito on the channel here, probably for a late night with the Davey, maybe something on the weekend. Maybe would be a stream that would have to be a 2-parter or a series. I don't know. I guess it depends on how deep we dive in. But, you know, Lito is an expert on the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and we're going to dig into that together. I wouldn't say I'm an expert. Nightmare on Elm Street's my 3rd favorite out of the big 3. Doesn't mean that I dislike it. I'm not as knowledgeable about it as I am with Halloween or Friday the 13th. So it'll be a great experience for me to gain some insight to one of the biggest horror movie franchises of all time, and to learn some stuff. So that'll be great, guys. I'm really looking forward to that. What bands inspired my songwriting? The big ones are like Green Day, Elvis Costello, Lifetime, Saves the Day. I would say those are the big ones. I always, NoFX is one of my favorite bands. I just found that I never really like wrote songs that sounded like them, like I love their music so much, but I never really tried to like imitate. There's another one, Paint It Black from Philadelphia. That's another band that I love. Whenever I'm writing something that's like hardcore punk or just a little tougher, it's Paint It Black and Kid Dynamite. But for the most part, Elvis Costello, Green Day, Lifetime saves the day. Davey, the actor playing adult Jason, looks like Warrington Gillette from Friday the 13th Part 2, doesn't he? It's really tough for me to tell. I don't know if I know what Warrington looks like without the makeup on. But Zachary Branch has a very unique look. Yes, I can totally see how they could put some makeup on him. I'd imagine they're going to do some of the deformation and all of that. And I think he's got a good head. Like the shape of his head is interesting. Like I think especially if they do the shaved head thing, make him bald or whatever. I think there's it's a really good look. I think he's a good cast for an adult Jason. Bibbidi boppity boo. Good night. Have a good night, Jamie. You rock. Jason is going to talk a lot and be annoying. Huh? It's just what I heard. I know it's not very specific. I figured he would talk. I think the idea that I like the vibe I got is that he's going to be kind of like a little shit. And I don't want that. Like, I want Jason to be I want him to be very relatable. It's someone that you would root for, I mean, he screams for help when Pamela's reflecting on seeing him in the water, which is odd, which makes me think that maybe Pamela could have done something about it, unless she's just making that up. So I'm okay with Jason talking when he's a little kid. I don't want adult Jason can't talk. Like, we can't do that. He can grunt, breathe, that kind of stuff. No talking, please, though. No talking. But yeah, I want young Jason to be, someone that you feel for. He'll probably be Baghead Jason. It'll be interesting to see if they go that route. Right? They could totally skip the Baghead too. I just saw that on this day in 1981. MTV made his debut. Oh shit. Yeah, Video Killed the Radio Star. Yep. That was the one. The Boggles or Buggles, right? I think it was it August 1st or July 31st? I know we just crossed over here on the West Coast. Ooh, Toxic Avenger remake. That one, I'm looking forward to that one as well. Yeah. Witchboard, that looks interesting as well. Yeah, make sure you check out the trailers when you see together. Don't show up too late. Okay, I think I hit every link and subbed everyone. You rock, Avery. Thank you so much. Lido says, I'm just rabid about Nightmare because I truly grew up during the Freddy era. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Freddy was like total rock star status by the time I knew about him. Like right before Freddy's Dead is when he kind of seeped into my consciousness. I started watching the movies and playing the NES game. I had a lot of fun. I remember running home from the pool so I would be there for the MTV launch. It was exciting. Hell yeah. And Jamie's still here. She said goodnight, but she's still here. Hope Danielle Koch's Claudette's death doesn't get cut like in the film. It's on Peacock. I guess they could do whatever they want on Peacock. So I don't think they'll hold back too much. Have a great night, Eli. Thank you so much for kicking it with us, bud. I'm going to wrap things up here shortly as well. Davey, have you heard the new single, The Right Wrong Man by the Co-Defendants? It's really good. I have not heard that Co-Defendants song. But I know who you're talking about. I'm aware of the band, but I've not checked that one out yet. Thank you, Eli. On the way out, Eli says, don't forget to slash that like button and sub to this amazing channel and consider becoming a member of the Mighty Death Squad. Yeah, just 99 cents a month. Gets you a membership. Let's see here. I think she was imagining him drowning, wondering if he called out for help. Gotcha. I think she might have let him drown. That's my hot take on Pamela. It's her psychosis that makes her blame the kids. But that is her memory. She saw Jason drowning and she let it happen because maybe her life would be easier without the burden of a disabled child. Fucked up, I know, but it's just like in my headcanon, I kind of like to think of it that way. That she thinks she's getting revenge, but it's just her psychotic break. How about that? August 1st. There we go. The Buggles. Who's going to play Jack Burrell, the Kevin Bacon guy in the show? I don't know. I don't know if any of those characters are going to be in the show, right? They don't necessarily have to like recast all the characters from the original film, especially because Linda Cardellini is young, right? So it might just be, they might not, like maybe the season 2 would be more of like the original Friday the 13th, or maybe they just are kind of rebuilding the foundation, right? And they're not going to straight up remake every little moment from the first film. So I would expect certain things to cross over and be congruent between the very first film and the TV show, but I would also expect some surprises and some different twists and turns. You know, I think it's going to be partly remake, partly new. Have a great night, Jamie. You rock. Thank you so much for kicking it with us. Never had the chance to play the Nightmare on Elm Street video game for NES, Davey. How was it? Really good. It's an LJN game, but it's really good. I fucking love that game. It's way better than the Friday the 13th game. It's really, really fun. You're like collecting Freddy's bones. So you're going from like house to house and location to location, collecting Freddy's bones. And you have a sleep meter. When it goes down, you fall asleep and you go into the dream realm. But the cool thing about being in the dream realm is you can collect these icons and you can turn into like a Dream Master character. So you can be a ninja, an acrobat, or a wizard. And it's really cool. Like the ninja like does these jump kicks. Whenever you jump, it automatically kicks. The acrobat like throws these batons. It's basically like a power up. But you don't want to be in the dream realm too long because Freddy can come get you. So you can drink coffee to stay awake before you get in the dream realm. You can collect a jukebox or a beatbox, not beatbox, what do they call it? Ghetto blaster, boombox. That's what it is, a boombox to wake yourself up when you're in the dream world. It's really good. Hey, look at that! Avery likes my take. Yeah, think about it. It puts an interesting tinge on Pamela's character, that's for sure. Jack Wagons Drive-In saying we need another Hatchet movie. You know, we were talking about that a little bit earlier this evening about, are there plans for another Hatchet? And Victor Crowley also came up because someone had asked, who the strongest or most powerful slasher villain was. And Victor Crowley's name came up in the chat for that as well. And welcome on in, Jack Wagons Drive-In. Is this the first time you've ever been in the chat? I think it might be. You're kicking it with the Death Squad. We're sort of wrapping things up now, but I would encourage you to think about hitting that subscribe button because I'm house sitting right now and I'm going to be going live every single night pretty late out here in the States. So yeah, so let me know. That's definitely a hot take right there about Mrs. Voorhees, Davey. I could see that being true, and it would make Pamela a much more heinous villain than she was originally portrayed to be. I just think it would be interesting to do something a little different give us a surprise with the character, I don't think that she like pushed Jason in the water, but maybe she just like, you just let it happen, Yeah, there's some sort of weird interference going on here with my audio. I need to figure that out before tomorrow. Version of Halloween and Chainsaw on Atari. I've never played those, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen them, I think, on the Angry Video Game Nerd. Yeah. Actually, the teens weren't paying attention to Jason's drowning. They were just making love, so Pamela put well, that's what she says. What I'm saying, Billy, is that's what she says to make herself feel justified. That's why I call it a psychotic break. Because people do that. In real life, people have been known to do that, where they're the ones that are ultimately responsible. They put the blame on someone else. They really do convince themselves because they're not right in the head. And that's what she says that they were doing. And that could be the absolute truth, it's odd to me that she has a memory of Jason drowning and she didn't do anything about it. She can see him drowning and asking for help. And I think he's even shouting for her. Why doesn't she run to the end of the dock and dive in and save her son? I don't know. Don't dream and drive. What's happening, Gina? So great to see you. Gina, I did get your email with your information for the postcard. So guys, yeah, I have a bunch of I Know What You Did Last Summer postcards. So if you guys want me to send you one, I've got maybe about a dozen or so right now that I've got to ship off. But if you guys want me to send you a postcard with a little, message to you and a little Davey Death Ray signature, then shoot me your address either through a direct message on Instagram or Twitter, or you can send an email to davydeathray@gmail.com. So it's really easy. I'll put it in here, davydeathray@gmail.com. You can send it over there. That game sounds like a lot of fun, Davey. You actually get to drink coffee in the game. Yeah, it's just a little icon that you just like collect. Yeah. Linda's 4 years younger than Betsy was during the production of the original. I think that's friggin' wild. Yeah, people used to look a lot older. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jack Wagons. Really appreciate it, bud. There's a new George Romero Dead movie coming soon. Well, it's are they doing the Twilight of the Dead? I know his daughter is doing the what is it called? Queens of the Dead. That's like a drag queen kind of thing. It seems like it'll be sort like maybe a little bit of a comedy, a little tongue in cheek. But I do know that George, there was his last story, his last script. Man, I heard like years ago that they were kind of trying to put that in motion. I can't remember who the director was going to be. Brendan Sanford, one of our great channel members, is back for the attack, and he says, "Did you? Did I hear the McLaurin requested a trade? Yeah, I think they need to pay him too. I want him to stay. I think that's his last ditch effort of being like, look, either pay me or just let me go. I want him to stay on the team. I love Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry. Yeah. Twilight, written before he had died, and then it sounds like his his widow was involved in selecting the person that would direct it. Hey, Lito loves my take on the Jason drowning as well. Have you ever thought that, Lito? I brought that up to Vin because I was like, here's my thing, Vin. This is what I think is a possibility, and it would be very interesting if they did this in the TV show, just to sort of give us a whole new spin on everything. And he dug it. I was surprised because Vin is like such an idea guy, and he was like, and he loves Pamela as a character. So I don't think he wants to see that happen with Pamela, but also he was like, oh, they could make that make sense. Jason's mom is scarier than Jason, in my opinion. Yeah, she's a little, it's definitely more psychological. Yeah, for sure. I think the Halloween TV series, I think they shit canned it. I haven't heard anything official though. But I think they gave up on that one, and I'm cool with that. Yeah, I could see Mrs. Voorhees turning her head when Jason is screaming and just being like, oh, he's fine, don't worry about him. Or just that she really, like, it's a burden, Parents sometimes look at their children as burdens, and maybe with Jason just, not being normal, which, I'm not saying I agree with that kind of, way of thinking, but it's like these things have happened in real life, unfortunately. So I could see it kind of playing out that way. She could have been abusive. In part 2, during the reverse psychology scene, Betsy's portrayal seemed like she was angry but happy with Jason at the same time, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's very stern. A disciplinarian, Hey, thank you so much, Jack Wagons. I'll have to check out your channel as well, man. Let me bring it up here because I don't want to forget after the stream. So let me... Jack Wagons driving. There you go. Oh, did you just recently start your channel? Oh, you got a lot of music on here. Okay. Crow Mags. All right. Okay, cool. I'll give your channel a check. How about that? Really appreciate the sub as well. And yeah, thank you for promoting. So he wrote it with someone else, and his wife is helping to complete it. It was going to be called Road of the Dead, but I think it's going to be Twilight now. Okay. Yeah, I love George Romero. Favorite director. Love those movies. It'll certainly make Jason's story more tragic. He only knew his mother that we know of, and she could have been unhinged. So while he's hurt over her death, he probably didn't mean much to her. Could be. I could show you something where they started to make a sequel to Night of the Living Dead with the survivors of and Day of the Dead. It was supposed to come out last year. Oh, crazy. I had no idea. Of course, that image of Jason drowning could be the weird way that older films convey how an event went down, not necessarily her photographic memory. Yes. Yeah, it could just be her approximation. Maybe she wasn't there, but that's like what she's imagining. I think it can be that. But it can also be, yeah, the way that I'm describing it, you know, both of them make sense for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a, what are they, like a cinematic, as Dave McCrae would say, cinematic language. It's a motif, a tableau. Just waiting to see what they do with Alice Hardy. They might have to recast her if Adrian's really did pull out. I'll tell you the truth, Davey. I hated the Friday the 13th video game for the NES. It's really tough. I wish my mom would have gotten me the Nightmare game because it sounds so much more fun than being killed by Jason in 10 seconds. Well, download yourself an emulator and check out the Nightmare on Elm Street game. It's really fun. You know, the thought occurred to me many years ago, but not as fully fleshed out as your version. Yeah, it's really like the last couple years, Lito, when every time I've watched that movie, something clicked a couple years ago where I was like, fuck, what if she just like, she was there. She saw it. She knew it was happening. She didn't do anything. She's just blaming the kids. Like, just for her own, because of her own guilt and psychotic. It was just kind of like, it was this epiphany, you know? It is pretty disturbing, yeah. I know someone who thought Madonna should have played Mrs. Voorhees. Charlize Theron would have been another option as well, yeah. I'm not sure if you'll be able to post the link, Jack Wagon, but you can shoot me a DM. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, so you can send me a DM over there. I understand what you mean, Davey, about there being bad parents out there. Yeah, world is crazy. Yeah, the shooting in New York was nuts, man. I mean, you can't. Crazy people are going to do crazy things. Even if you took away all the guns from people, they would grab a knife. They would do, you know, like the people that want to hurt other people are going to find a way to do it. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. I love Borderline. Feels like I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah. Borderline's such a good song. Oh, it might be my favorite. Borderline Schizophrenic. Borderline might be my favorite Madonna song. Davey, what is an emulator? It is a way to play. So they have emulators for all of the video game systems, all of the older systems. And then they have things called ROMs, ROM. Oh, look at Duncan coming into the room here. So yeah, you can get an emulator and you can download, like, the ROMs are tiny as far as the amount of space they would take up on your computer. So you could download like the whole NES library and play any of those old NES games that you want to, or you can just cherry pick the ones that you want to play. What's up, Duncan? How you doing, buddy? He is such a little purr baby. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for me. I'm going to go snuggle with Duncan and have a little snack. I might make myself a little salad and beef jerky on the side. How about it? You guys have been amazing. This has been so much damn fun. I'm going to be on live tomorrow, probably right around the same time, about 10 p.m. What do you guys want to talk about? Let me know. Just shoot me a message, or maybe I'll just put a little post on the channel and give you guys some options on you know, something to vote for. Oh, really quick, guys, before we go, I know some of you may have already left, but I do want to let you know the versus battles that I do with Mark from Tales from the Shelf. The versus battle is coming back in August 20th. We're bringing on Cody Leach. Oh yeah. And we are going to do a versus battle of the it'll be a Child's Play themed versus battle, and I'm thinking I'm going to put it up as a vote for you guys as to what are the best movies, or what's the best movie in the Child's Play franchise, and the number 1 and number 2 will do a versus battle. I'm thinking, I have a feeling, I don't know, let me know if I'm wrong. I feel like the fan favorites are Child's Play 2 and Bride of Chucky. Do not bite my headphone cable, you little hellion. So I think, yeah, Child's Play 2, Bride of Chucky are like the fan favorites. So I'm kind of leaning on that. And we'll declare one the ultimate winner, the best in the franchise. So just wanted to drop that out there for you guys. I'll probably get that scheduled here pretty shortly, just so you guys can set your notifications and I can start advertising for it. Cody's amazing. Not sure if you guys are subbed over there, but he just passed 200,000 subs, and couldn't have happened to a more hardworking, nice guy. Cody, I was fortunate enough to kick it with him for, man, a good 5 or 6 hours here in Phoenix. He came out for a convention, and then he was on Late Night with the Davey the following week. We had already planned that. And man, it was so cool to meet him before in person. And we talked about like everything. It was amazing. It sounds like a first date. There were a whole bunch of people hanging around. It wasn't just me and him, but a very sweet guy. And I can't wait to have him back on the channel. So you guys have been awesome. I love you all so very much. Big shout out to our Patreon members and our YouTube channel members. Big thanks to the Death Squad mods out there. You guys are amazing. And man, for all the new folks that are here, Jack Wagon's Drive-In, very happy to have you as part of our Death Squad. We have a lot of fun here. Our community is amazing, as I'm sure you already know. If you're into horror stuff, the YouTube horror community is one of the best communities out there. I will be back tomorrow night at 1 a.m. Eastern. Holy cow, maybe a little bit early. Maybe we'll shoot for midnight Eastern tomorrow night. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up for me here. You guys have been awesome. I love you all so very much. But until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.